Our friend Eric Newcomer in his newsletter said there was a lot of secondaries going on.
Ah, yes.
So I want to just point out a little bit of a trend this specific week. We got IPO news.
Mm-hmm.
We had 2 companies bought by DoorDash.
7 rooms and Deliveroo.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I think one was for $1 billion. I don't know what Deliveroo went for. Uber bought
2.5, 3. Yeah.
Billion.
Yeah.
So that's $4 billion right there. Then we have whatever the purchase in Turkey was by Uber. They bought 70% of one. I don't know what that cost, but let's assume low billions. So I think that's 4 deals or 5 deals, like off the top of my head, in what I'll call micro M&A, single digit billions. We're going to call micro M&A going from here. We'll call regular M&A anything from 10 to 100 billion, and we'll call major M&A over 100 billion. So micro M&A happening here. Minor, I'll call it minor. Minor M&A, single digit billions. We saw 4, 5, maybe just in the last 2 weeks. And we have an IPO that would be a major M&A style event, a major...
loosening up.
Loosening up. And then this is really interesting. Secondary funds grabbed a record 9% of private market fundraising. And I guess this actually isn't from Eric. This is from PitchBook. PitchBook is a private, like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year database. It's kind of like the old school versus Crunchbase.
Right.
Probably not as good as the data in Crunchbase, I think, but I guess that's
like
a big
Lexis
debate.
Nexus for investors.
Yeah, I don't know how good this data is. I'll be totally honest. Carta's got their data subset. So all 3 of these companies have their own data. So you have to remember it's imperfect. It's not like stock data.
The PitchBook crew works pretty hard, though. I know a lot of the folks over there, just from talking to them.
I just know, like, when I look at the data, I know a lot of people who don't contribute their data. I know they have like holes in the data. So independent of them working hard, it's probably 70% correct is what I would guess. So they're saying secondary funds grab a record 9% of private market fundraising. I don't know if the 9% of private market fundraising means total investment dollars into startups or for funds. Did you know if that distinction is there?
I'm going to double check with the source right now because I think I know the answer, but I don't want to talk out my
because it could be 2 different things, right? It could be 9% of venture funding to funds went to secondary, but I think this is investing in startups. So if you took 91% of it being primary investment into the companies, and then 9% of that total pool would be buying secondaries from the companies. Anyway, that is an increase over the years from, what was maybe 2 or 3% of the market historically. So that is an incredible sign as well. What that means is the bottom feeders believe now's the time to strike because it spiked in 2020, according to this data. Again, it's probably 60, 70% directionally correct in my estimation. That's generally what these databases have. So between 5 and 6% during the peak ZIRP era, 2020 to 21, it plummets back down to 2% in 2022. Wrath of Lena Khan, Silicon Valley Bank implosion. Actually, the brand's back. I got invited to go to the Knicks game with Silicon Valley Bank Game 4. So I might be in their box for Game 4.
Wow, they're already back and spending money on Knicks tickets.
Listen, I think they landed pretty well, actually, the different parts of the businesses.
Sure.
And then here we go, 9%. So if this is correct, again, it's probably directionally correct, we might have tripled or quadrupled from trough to now this peak, and it looks like it's going to keep going up.
Yeah.
And I know this because there's like a market for Calm, the meditation app.
Sure.
And I think we sold in secondary 10% of our shares, and I think it's maybe 15% of the price we sold for at the peak was what we were offered maybe 3 to 6 months ago. The only reason I'm saying this publicly is because it's public knowledge. This is not hidden. It's available to everybody, so we can talk about it. And I've been public that part of our venture strategy is to sell 10% when we are 50 to 100x, and then another 10% when we're 200x.
Yeah.
Just, along the way, because we have to get DPI for our LPs. It's becoming a critical part of venture for seed stage and pre-seed like us to sell along the way. This is a great sign.